I think this is Champ Fast Eddie.
Yes, this is.
You are not. What's going on,
Hello?
Champion Fast Eddie? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Talk to us. What's going on with your world? What you got coming up? Share with the listeners who want to hear from you.
Oh, I just I came back home for a bit. As you know, I've been in the UK for now over almost 7 months. I mean, I came back for about 2.5 weeks or so back in May, but then I went back, so I was basically there for about 7 months straight, all the way till July, and then recently spent a month back home. Well, spending a month back home in the process of that now. But I'm supposed to be scheduled for a fight on the 20th of September, and I'm actually working out and training at home for a bit, and then I'm going to go back over to the UK at the end of this month. And
you are training with you're training with the Fury camp, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, I'm working with Team Fury. Peter Fury's my trainer, and he's the entire team. Tyson and everybody. We're all working together.
And you back campaigning at heavyweight, right?
Yeah, back up to heavyweight. Yeah, the last 3 fights have been at heavyweight. 3 straight wins, all stoppages, and my weight has been pretty heavy, considering what I was my recent years at heavyweight. So, but
all right.
Obviously, I look a bit different even with this weight. It's been put on the right way, you know what I mean, the right amount of muscle, and still have the speed and agility that I've had before. So everything seems to be working out really well with them.
Is this going to be a permanent shift for you now over to the UK and fighting over there, or do you want to come back home and fight here?
Well, I mean, the ultimate goal for me, obviously, is to fight in front of my own fans, no question. But the UK fans are great. You know what I mean? I've always had great friends from Germany and just overseas in general. They're really open, to fighters from the States and anywhere just coming over to fight. So I've had a good time over there, and hope to make a home over there as well as my own home, and here in the States. But definitely the ultimate goal is for all of us, even with Tyson and Peter and all of us, want to eventually be able to come over here to the States and get some the U.S. fans behind us, because everywhere the U.S. is pretty important. You know what I mean, as far as in my life especially, and getting those people behind me. So these people behind me, I'm here now. So, but definitely want to come back here.
What has been the tone in camp? You have a nice win streak going, and as we know, Tyson Fury's rematch that he was scheduled to have recently was postponed. What's been the tone in camp with him there and trying to keep himself up and ready, because it looks like he's been on the, beginning the raw end of the stick lately with opponents falling out of fights with him.
Yeah, he's had a bit of bad luck with that, guys fall out of fights and having things rescheduled, losing money and things like that. It's pretty tough, but he's one of those kids that can kind of bounce back. I was talking to him recently, and he said he's feeling good. He's ready to get back into camp and get started. So I think he's going to be fine. Right now, Peter and all of us, they actually were going through all of us going through a pretty tough time as well with his uncle being was in pretty bad shape recently, which was one of the causes for for the fight to fall out that they had replaced. So what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been a little, it's been pretty rough on us all, but and then with my fight as well falling out for the 26th, it was it's been a rough thing, a rough go for all of us. So, but we're all back in the right frame of mind, ready to get back to work as soon as possible.
Now that you are, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, how is your trainer's health now?
Say it again.
Your trainer, Peter Fury, I believe. How's his health?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. I didn't hear the last part of it.
Oh, his health.
Oh, Peter's fine. Oh, it was his uncle. Not Peter's uncle. It was Tyson's uncle, Huey. His former trainer, who had been. Yeah, he was in really bad shape for a while, and he's trying to recover now. But Peter's fine. No, it's just his brother's in pretty bad shape, so he's not totally fine, but you know what I mean. As far as his health, he's good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, before you started taking these fights in the UK, you were with Main Events, and
yes.
You know, they were promoting you as, you know, the best cruiserweight in the world, but then you lost to Bizu Mchunu, and they immediately dropped you, and then they signed him. So, I mean, you got to feel some kind of way about that.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, at the time, you know what I mean, you know, I'm the kind of person that just try to let things just roll off, man, just let it go. But even me, you know what I mean, I kind of felt a little like, man, dang, it's kind of dirty, dropping me right off, and then picking up my last opponent who happened to win. It's kind of hurtful, but you know what I mean. I was just in a bad place at that point. You know what I mean. So it just felt like everything was falling on me. It felt like I had the world on my back. But you know what I mean. It's just something I had to deal with, and thank goodness for this angel. You know what I mean, Peter, coming and saying, you know, and invited me to camp and coming on over to work with Tyson and actually getting a chance to sit down and talk with him and work with him a bit and give me a chance to, you know, resurrect my career. Because believe it or not, after that fight, you know what I mean, and them dropping me and all of that, man, I was just like, man, what do I need to be in this for? I can get a job, man, and honestly, at that point, make the kind of money that I was making. And then the amount of time wasn't, you know, nobody's fault of my own, I guess. I mean, I can't really even say it was my fault. But the injuries had kept me out, you know what I mean? But, you know, once I seen that, I said, you know, after the injury and then having that fight with that kid Mchunu, I was like, what's the point? You know what I mean? I can go ahead and, you know, like I said, get a job, man, and probably do just as good as I'm doing with boxing. I mean, I won't be as well known, but hell, who cares? You know what I mean? I'd just rather make the money and live comfortably and at least be happy. And I was just that close to doing that. But thank goodness for Peter, man. He gave me an opportunity to, you know, get back into boxing and get focused on it.
Yeah, and fight regularly for once. I mean, it's been a long time since you've had 3 fights in 1 year.
3 fights in 1 year. I tried 3 fights in 6 weeks. That's the first time I had that since I was in my first year of boxing. So, you know, I'm definitely, so it's like a big change for me. Well, kind of. Like I said, I had it my first year, but you go from fighting once a year, maybe, you know what I mean, and then fighting literally top 10, top 5 opponents every fight out, off of layoffs, to fighting, you know what I mean, fighting 3 times in 6 weeks. It's kind of nice. You know what I mean? Because then you get sharper. You're in the gym training regularly. You got top-notch guys to work with all the time. It was just perfect. You know what I mean? It's been perfect. So I can't really, I can't say how happy I am to, you know, to be in a situation like this. You know what I mean? Before I've never had, even when I was contending, you know, for the title and you know, and having those top fights, when I was fighting even more regular, you know, some years back in 08 and 07, 08 and stuff like that, and even 09. But I've never been quite looked after the way that we've been doing recently. I've been eating a certain way. I've been living on, you know, in camp basically for almost over half a year, and it's definitely paid off.
So you should be returning to the UK for a fight September 20th?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that the Kid Galahad card?
I'm not sure. I think so, though. I think that's what they were talking about, me being on that card.
Okay.
I'm sure. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna make sure. You know what I mean? There's so many cards. I mean, they get their boxing on over there, so I gotta make sure I know which one I'm on.
Yeah. How is the It seems like boxing is so much more of a big deal over in the UK compared to the United States. How does it feel like being there?
Well, for me, it's like it takes me kind of back to when I was like, you know, like when you watch the heavyweight division and the Tyson, Holyfield, and Lennox and all that era. You know what I mean? It takes you back to that. Even though, you know, there's not the marquee names necessarily. You know, in the UK actually got a few guys that they talk about a lot now, but it's just great to see boxing is one of the top sports. And then you look at the States, and it's just not as popular, and it's really because you look at the heavyweight division is you know, we don't have the dominant heavyweights that we're used to having in the States. Just running the game, you know what I mean? And I think that takes the interest out of it. You know what I mean? The only time now you see big fights over there, you know what I mean, is when you talk about Floyd Mayweather, and that's when the whole Vegas and Vegas shuts down for the weekend. But other than that, it's really nothing to speak of. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, there's still a lot of great fighters out there, even though Floyd may be the best one right now. There's still a lot of other great fighters out there, great talent, even in the States. And we just got to get the opportunity and you know, get some people to watch it. That's all.
Right. Absolutely. Well, do you? One of our Twitter followers wants to know: has your opponent for your upcoming September match been named yet?
No, not just yet. Not just yet. We're trying to get at it earlier because, like I said, we're trying to get better opponents, better guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, to get in there, and you know, they're not obviously going to be getting paid six figures constantly, especially in pounds over there. So it's kind of hard to get them to look at my name and say, oh, you know what? I'll fight him for this amount of money. It may not be the biggest payday, but at least it's a good opportunity even for them. And a lot of these guys are saying, well, nah, you know what I mean? I'd rather take another road. So we got to get at it a bit early and try to get somebody in there. You know what I mean? It's not easy to match, you know, fighters of this level, especially trying to get back into it, you know?
Right.
You know, it seems kind of like awkward timing to me, you know, given, you know, the recent shakeup in the heavyweight division because, you know, because that WBC title finally left Vitaly Klitschko, like, you got Americans, you know, fighting over it now. You know, Deontay Wilder, he's going to get first crack. And then your boy B.Y. Jennings from Philly, he'll get crack after that. Are you trying to get in the WBC heavyweight picture too?
Honestly, for me, I'm just looking at getting an opportunity to be ranked in any organization, in every organization, really. I mean, of course, everybody's looking like, all right, avoid Vladimir at all costs.
Right, because every other organization leads to him. Or except the WNBA, because they have a regular champion now.
Right, you know what I mean? And maybe I can go after the BA so I can get the regular BA, especially when you look at the recent fight with Okendo and Shikaev. It's like, maybe we should go after that one.
If they gave you a week notice for Shikaev, you should probably take the fight because you could beat him.
Listen, we were in the vying for that day's notice fight. Trust me, we was trying to get in there because I was in camp at that point for over a month. That was when I got back after I came back here for about 2.5 weeks, and I just came off of 5.5 straight months of camp, and then I came back and was in camp for another month. And they was talking about the fight fell out. Okendo, I was like, man, as much as I hate flying and Peter and all that, know that, he's like, look, if we get on that plane, we coming back with that WBA belt. There's no question. You know what I mean? Because we were already in top shape. We had been working with different guys, different kinds of guys, southpaws and everything. It didn't matter who he brought. You know what I mean? Let alone it be a guy like that. And, I mean, no disrespect to him. He just didn't look, you know, as good as I've seen him in the past. And fighting for a world title against, you know, a guy like Fresno Kendo at this point in his career,
that was a disgraceful fight.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I'll jump in right now. You know what I mean? Call me, hey, on a couple of days' notice is fine with me. A day notice is fine with me. We already been training anyway. You know, we'll deal with the jet lag. It's all good. You know what I mean? But it just, you know, it didn't happen. And we got to go to, you know, the normal route now. But you know, the BC, I take that. But, you know, even fighting Vladimir again, if that ever has to come about, that's my ultimate thing. I would love to fight him again. Not to say that, you know, it was as easy, or it would be easy. Of course it's not going to be easy. Look what happened in the first fight. It was a difficult fight all the way into the 12th, and you see what happened in the 12th. But, you know, I just feel like with a better team, you know, better build around me with positive vibes and positive information and quality information coming in the corner, calm, I think I have a much, much better shot at winning the next fight if we ever fought again. So really, to me, it doesn't matter which organization, as long as I get in one.
Well, your fight with Vladimir, to me, from a technical standpoint, I thought you were doing fine. It's just whenever you would hit him, it just wouldn't do anything. Like, do you think you have enough power to make a difference?
It's not even if I hit him, because to be honest with you, I didn't hit him that much. You know what I mean? And that's me. And of course, I would love to say, "Oh yeah, I was hitting him funny." No, it wasn't that. It was I couldn't really land the shots that I wanted to. And you know, to be fair to him as well, he made it very difficult. And even some of the times that I was able to land shots, you know what I mean? It was at awkward angles, and I tried to throw off back foot sometime, and it just wasn't. And it wasn't able to land with the right amount of force. The way we're working now would be a much different type of fight. You know what I mean? Where, you know, it would be more aggression, and the shots would be coming at at odd angles as they were in the first fight, but now it would be a plan behind it. First time I fought him, really was no plan. You know what I mean? And Vladimir being the great fighter he is, you can't get in there, especially with his all-star corner that he has, you know what I mean, with Emmanuel and, Bashir and all those guys over there. You can't get in the ring with him and not have a plan. You get in the ring with him, if you don't have a plan, you're going to fail. You're planning to fail. So that was what the situation was the first fight. That's not to say, that even if I would have had everything I needed, that I would have won, but I would have just had a much better chance.
Yeah, but how do you plan for a guy that big leaning on you?
You can't, man. You got to train hard for that. Put some weights on your back while you sparring or something. I don't know. It doesn't hurt to have big guys like Tyson in camp with you to train with as well. You gotta admit, you know what I mean. Me getting sparring for Vladimir, that first fight was like, we couldn't even figure out who the heck to get. We just figured that it almost didn't matter who we brought in, that I was just going to have whatever it needed, the recipe to beat him, because of what I did with Dimitrenko. Listen, they're two different fighters. You know what I mean? Dimitrenko was good. He could box, but he wasn't as strong and didn't have that championship pedigree. Vladimir's in another league, and that's what the difference was. So no matter how good I might be skill-wise, they had a plan to thwart it all. So.
All right, sounds good, man. I hope you finally can get a decent fight over there in the UK, because I know they're calling some people out and they've not been willing to come fight you.
Well, yeah, to be honest and to be fair to them, come on, you know what I mean? It's not the kind of fight that is an easy fight. To think, we can just go over there and get this easy win. It's a tough fight. They're not going to get the kind of, backing people to want to see it. You know what I mean? Maybe like a semi-wind-up fight, maybe a co-main event type thing. And, nothing to where they're going to make some big money. And then to take a tough, risky fight, it's just, there's not a lot of guys that are willing to make that, that track.
Yeah, to me, it would seem like Lucas Brown should probably be somebody that would be interested in it, because he's trying to he's at that stage where he has to step up at this point, and in order to be taken seriously, and he fights over there, so it makes sense if you two fought.
That's true, but then I ask you this: would you put him in with a slick boxing type heavyweight? Yeah, he's only been hurt once, you know what I mean? Faster than just about everybody with just about the best skills in the division. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is when they look at it, when Ricky looks at who should I step him up with, believe me, I'm probably not the first guy that they're going to talk about putting him in with. It's like, now if I had the Floyd Mayweather kind of personality outside the ring, calling people out, calling them names, talking about I'm this, I'm flashy, and I got money stacked across the table and all that. If I had that kind of stuff, they'd be like, we jumping on that. I don't care if I get my butt whipped in, we can go and jump right in. But I'm in a different situation. You understand what I'm saying? So these guys are looking at that and they're like, nah, there's no reason for that. We giving him everything. Listen, if Luke is stepping in the ring with me, he's giving me an opportunity now. And it sounds ridiculous because of what I've done and how far I've been, but that's back then, as far as most people are concerned. That was then, it is now. And he's got the hype behind him. He's got the people interested. So if he comes to fight me and he loses that fight, that puts me back on. He beat me, he was washed up anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to I always try to look at it from both ends. You know what I mean? And from both ends, the decision to be made is to say, okay, well, let's go around him and let's go fight this other guy who, a lot easier to hit, you know what I mean? Not as tough, not as skilled. Let's just do that. These little small, tough guys, make it harder on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, maybe you can get somebody that's trying to come back to, like Marius Walker or something. Whatever.
You know what it's going to end up being? You know what it's going to end up being, man, to be honest with you? I've always fought tough, awkward, the kind of guys that nobody really wanted to fight. You know what I mean? It's a little touchy. I don't necessarily want to fight him. The kind of thing, and say, let's just put Eddie Chambers in there with him. That's what's going to end up happening. Let's put Eddie Chambers in there with him. If he lose, so what? But if he wins, great for us. But who cares? That kind of stuff. So I'll probably get one of those guys. So we'll see. I'm just excited to get back into the top of the division. That's all, man. I'm humble with this thing. I love to do what I'm doing. I mean, who doesn't? Who wouldn't? Unless you just don't like getting hit, which I don't like getting hit, but I just happen to be good at not getting hit, so let's keep that up. But anyway, no, but seriously, I just enjoy it, and to make money doing something like this that you love, why not? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, good luck.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks for rocking with us, Eddie. When you get your next opponent, and if you're still stateside or if you're overseas, call in and talk with us, and so we can talk about you. All right?
All right, no problem. You just stay in touch, and I'll make sure that we get this whole thing rocking again.